go to the text and make the vertical line to top. I also know from experience I'm going to have to change this master pages demo right there by setting the column span to 1 and height equal to 100%. I'm sorry, width equal to 100%. Now if we go back here and hit refresh, we should get rid of that empty space, and that's looking better. Couple more quick changes. I want to put, well, that's too narrow, but we'll fix that in a minute. I want to have a nice little line here separating the master page area from here. Now remember earlier I showed you this thing at the bottom down here. When I click the master page demo area, you can see I'm really inside the H2 tag. I want to be inside the TR tag because that's the table row. For that table row, I select that. Then I can go to the properties style section and go and modify the edges like I did earlier, and go to the bottom, make it a solid thin line, and set that color equal to like this, like the silver color. So using this little piece here at the bottom allows you to narrow in and select exactly the kind of row or content that you want. Now when I hit refresh, I should have that little line. That's looking better. Finally, we need a menu. So this is pretty cool. We're going to switch now out of kind of master page demo and HTML creation into the new navigation features of ASP.NET 2.0. So if I collapse this, you can see over here on the navigation side we have 3 new server controls: the sitemap path, a menu, and a tree view. These all rely on a sitemap description of what your site looks like, so some kind of hierarchical representation in XML of what your site looks like. So I already have defined that in these files right here. I've got 5 ASPX pages that are empty, as well as the web sitemap. So let me bring these in. So we have, again, this change password, create account. These are just placeholder pages, and they look pretty much just like the default page. What's interesting is the web sitemap. This is an XML representation of a hierarchical view of our site. And the reason why I have all these placeholders is because the sitemap syntax, when it's interpreted, requires you to actually have all these pages, or they can't all point to the same empty or default page. So we have kind of a 3-layer arbitrary menu structure or layout here with manage accounts down at the bottom. We have an admin page and a few other pages. Actually, I didn't bring in the admin page. Oh, that's good. I can show you another way to create child pages. If you right-click on the master page, I can just choose Add Content Page. Now, you don't get the name you want, so just go and rename that to Admin, and I'll put in some text and say this is the admin main page. Now we have something a little more substantial. Now, we need to use the sitemap. The way we do that is to drag, let me get rid of the menu text. We drag a tree view control. I could use the menu, but I like the way the tree view looks better with our hierarchical data. And let me attach it to a data source. So we have attach it to our sitemap, and that's going to look for a file called web.sitemap. And notice there's our syntax, our hierarchy. And I'm going to change it to, you can see there's lots of different formatting in here. I'll use arrows too. And then finally, I'm just going to drag this little runtime control down here. Great. Now using that same sitemap, we have another feature called the sitemap path. This is like the little breadcrumb control you get at the in websites. All I have to do is drag that on, and you know what? I need to make one change to that image control in order to get it to align correctly. This took me about an hour to figure out, but align equals absolute middle. By putting that on the image tag, my sitemap will align perfectly with that. Okay, so let's hit refresh and see how this looks. That's looking a lot better. So we have our login page. Wow, that's a little funny. So we have another kind of painting or HTML issue. This is just what you get when you're dealing with HTML. You have to make lots of little tweaks. I happen to know that that behavior is caused by this guy right here. It needs to be set to 100%. If I go back and hit refresh, that looks a lot better. Okay, so notice now when I click down at the top, our little sitemap path is showing us where we are. This is really useful if you have a lot of pages and you want users to be able to easily understand where they are in your overall hierarchy. I don't like the default behavior of this menu. Notice when I click on an item, it shifts over to the left a little bit. We have a lot of control over the way this is styled. If we go back to the master page and bring up the properties for this menu, at the very bottom we have all these different styles. So for instance, the selected style, remember when I clicked on it, it scooted over to the left. That's because they've hard-coded 0 pixels there. Likewise, I want it to be bold instead of underlined. And when I'm hovering over one of the menu items, I'm going to use this cool trick where you set the background color equal to yellow so it looks highlighted. And I'll turn off the underlines. Let's see how all those changes look. Refresh. Ah, much better. Great. So that's Masterpages. Now we're going to use the same content for the membership and roles video. So let's save the whole thing as a template. So we export this whole project as a template. Call it Masterpages and I'll Visual Basic. And I think this is fine. I'll call it the Masterpages demo. Great. So later we'll use this zip file and copy it. You can see it's already in my templates folder. Later we can create a new website based on that Masterpages template. So if you want to learn more about how we fill out this with real content where you can change your password and log in, watch the membership and roles video. So as you've seen, Masterpages are a great place to put common content